What is good, everybody? AHS Rules back again with another video, and we are here for a Ring of Honor TV review, episode number 71, and I will say this is going to be a pretty big review because we have a lot to discuss. So I'm going to put a timestamp for the actual review in the comments, but like I said, we have a lot to discuss prior to the review. We have three, not one, not two, but three Proving Ground matchups that happened on this episode of ROH. We have two match announcements for Death Before Dishonor, and we have a new Ring of Honor television champion, which is where I always start this review off at. The new television champion is Atlantis Jr., who defeated Kyle Fletcher last week at a CMLL event. And after the match, Kyle Fletcher congratulated him, shook his hand, the code of honor, I guess I should say, and challenged him to a future match on his own soil. So later on in the review, they showed highlights of the match. They didn't show the actual match itself, and Ian Riccaboni was kind of alluding to them doing this matchup again in Ring of Honor. But as of right now, the new Ring of Honor television champion is Atlantis Jr. And if I don't forget, that should be in the thumbnail of this video. So there is that. Thing number two. This is something that has been bothering me because I've been meaning to mention it and I've forgotten to. So it's a bit of news, but an opinion tangent tied to it. So after Death Before Dishonor is July 26th. There will be several ROH TV tapings taking place. Now, if you've watched these reviews, these past 70 reviews, the first portion of those took place at Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida. And then once Collision began, AEW started Collision, almost every ROH episode has taken place and taped before and after Collision. And sometimes that really affects the shows because the seats are very empty, the crowd's not that into it. And I've always had the thought process of those fans are really there to watch Collision. Some stay and some care about ROH and watch. They're there to watch wrestling, but they're mainly there to watch Collision and not necessarily ROH. Where with the fans at Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida, they know what they're signing up for. They're going there to watch ROH, and a lot of the times that was packed. So we're kind of meeting in the middle and compromising a little bit after Death Before Dishonor, because like I said, they'll have several separate TV tapings for ROH at the Esports Stadium in Arlington, Texas. If you care enough and you're going to be in the area, you should check it out on the ROH website for the exact dates and times. But I'm also a little bit worried and concerned because on paper, my thought process should work. Like, these fans should go there to watch ROH. But also, AEW is running that arena stadium for like a month straight, the Path to All In series. So I hope it doesn't really tire out that fan base there. So there is that. So now on to the actual review. This is the 4th of July episode. I'm trying to write down what time the review starts, and I wrote down the wrong thing. So this is the 4th of July. That is why I'm mainly wearing red, white, and blue. I wear this a lot, to be honest. And this episode was hosted by the infantry. Throughout the episode, they visit different United States of America landmarks. Ones that I remembered, Mount Rushmore and the Liberty Bell and the White. They went all through Washington, D.C., notably the White House. That is that. I will also give a thumbs up because the graphics for this episode had the stars and stripes and were red, white, and blue as well. So, the first of three Proving Ground matchups. The first one in the Trios division, the Bang Bang Gang versus the Dark Order. So, Juice Robinson, Colton, and Austin Gunn versus Alex Reynolds. I knew I was going to do it. Alex Reynolds, John Silver, and Evil Uno. Sometimes I say Alex Silva. I don't mean to, obviously. But Bullet Club Gold members, this is their first time competing on ROH TV on Honor Club. They have competed in ROH before at Supercard of Honor. Now, commentary made note and Jay White has been off of TV a couple weeks ago. He's back on because he's in the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. But they made note that he was like off TV with an injury, and they're trying to allude that he did that way that Juice can slide into a spot in the trios tag team titles. So that was an interesting note. So Evil Uno and Austin Gunn start this match off, but the Dark Order triple team early until Juice breaks us up, and we get lots of Juice distractions, most notably the one where he pisses like a dog, and this really pissed off the Dark Order. Like I said, lots of this match was taunting until Evil Uno tags in and takes out the Guns. Silver and Uno are taken out on the outside. This sets up Reynolds to be hit with the 3/10 to Yuma by the Guns, and the Bang Bang Gang win the match. I will say this, I found a great discovery because I knew the Guns finisher was called the 3/10 to Yuma, but I don't really know what that means. And several times when I review ROH, the commentary team doesn't say what the finishing move's name is, and I want to be exact. So I Googled it, and I have found a website that has the entire AEW roster's signature and finisher moves, and I got to use it tonight for this match. So there is that. If you want to know the Death Before Dishonor matchups that were announced tonight, you're about to find them out, as we are joined in the backstage area with Lexi Nair, Billy Starks, and Athena, and they feel safe because they have their own locker room and their own security. On last week's review, we were introduced to the security, and I was like, I'm going to be intrigued if it's going to be the same security every week. And it was not. But at least this week, I knew one of the security guards, as it was former Ring of Honor television champion Tony Deppen, and Athena made note of that, but never said his name. So there was that. As they're enjoying their time in their locker room, they're interrupted by Red Velvet and Queen Aminata, who do not do much besides announce at Death Before Dishonor it will be Red Velvet versus Billy Starks for the Ring of Honor Women's Television Championship. And it will be Athena versus Queen Aminata for the Ring of Honor Women's Championship, which Athena is shocked by because she is out with an injury. But Queen Aminata asked Lexi Nair, oh, did you not tell her about the email? As apparently, Lexi Nair was emailed by the ROH Board of Directors and Tony Khan that Athena has been cleared. So, I don't know what the hell is up with Athena's injury and the severity of the injury. The only thing that I made comment on here was Wheeler Yuta has been out for like half of a year and has not had to vacate his championship or defend it to that point. So, I would have been a little bit questioning if they had to do the same to Athena, which, different circumstances, and Wheeler Yuta does compete tonight, spoiler alert. So, it'll be interesting what happens with this matchup. I fully imagine it will take place if they made a whole match card graphic and have been teasing it for several months. Next matchup is another Proving Ground match, this one being the Undisputed Kingdom versus Metalik and Komander. This matchup was set up last week as the Undisputed Kingdom asked for more and better competition, with Metalik and Komander accepting that challenge. Taven and Komander start the match with the Kingdom trying to corner Komander until he quickly runs away, setting up a Metalik springboard. Eventually we get a corkscrew moonsault to the outside by Komander, but once back in the ring, the Kingdom double team Metalik. Komander hits his rope walk shooting star press for a close 2 count. The Kingdom hit the Rockstar Supernova to win the matchup, as they're still the tag champions, and we will not be seeing Metalik and Komander getting a tag team title shot. But speaking of the tag team division, this is something that I knew, like I said, there was a lot that took place on this episode of ROH, and in this week of ROH, I guess I should say. But the one thing that I forgot to mention off the top is that we got a tease of a debut vignette, I guess I should say, as we are introduced by Mason Madden and Mansoor, the MXM collection, who will be debuting soon in ROH. If you do not know, they were in WWE as the Maximum Male Models, along with several other gimmicks and shticks, I guess I should say, but that one sticking out the most. And like I said, I'll be in ROH soon. As our main event of this week's ROH is the third of the 3 Proving Ground matchups. This one being Wheeler Yuta versus Lee Moriarty. Wheeler Yuta's first match in ROH since Final Battle. Yuta has the advantage early on, targeting Moriarty's neck. Then Moriarty targets the left shoulder of Yuta. Moriarty uses his first rope break attempt, escaping Yuta's elbows to the shoulder. Yuta hits a tope suicida. Moriarty then locks in a Border City stretch using Yuta's first rope break attempt. He quickly then locks it back in with Yuta reversing it into a pinfall. And then we see several close 2 count and 1 count pinfall attempts. This is almost a majority of the match. This match flew by. As then the matchup ends, the time limit expires with both men exchanging elbows and Lee Moriarty earning a future title shot at the Pure Championship. They did not officially announce this for Death Before Dishonor, but the commentary team were like, you know, that's probably going to take place, probably suggested so. Lots happening on the road to Death Before Dishonor. A lot happened on this episode of ROH, which it is surprising that this was a 50-minute episode, but I talked like this was a normal episode because we're 12 minutes in. So hopefully we have a lot to talk about next week on next week's ROH TV review. Be interesting to see what happens there and get more match announcements for Death Before Dishonor. I'm going to really struggle because I'm going to keep saying before instead of saying for Death Before Dishonor. So before Death Before Dishonor. You get the point I'm making. So I never really know how to end these videos. I just start blabbing and blabbing when I should be shutting the F up. So thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.